Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be giving my content predictions for this weekend here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. There are a lot of cards that I think we could get this weekend just simply because 2K has now introduced GOAT cards into the mix, and I think we're probably going to get a GOAT card in packs this weekend, and I'll explain why I think that here in a second. But also, I think we're going to start getting some really souped content drops. It's right here at the end of May. Friday is May 30th. PlayStation Plus has 2K as a free game in June, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it'll be super discounted on Xbox too. There's more and more new players. There's a lot of people in the game at endgame. We're going to get some really crazy content over the next few weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if that continues here this weekend. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. We're under 200,000, or sorry, we're under 200 subscribers away from 40K, but we have like 3 days left to hit it. So I'd really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. And the first reason that I think we're going to get really good cards this content weekend is because if you look at the content, the last time we had a festival, we had the glitched festival, obviously. And then the week after the festival, we got another good drop, which was a out of position drop. It was a quality drop. The first festival that had an invincible card in it, or the first invincible card to be had in the game, was Invincible Kevin Durant, the second week of season 6, right? And that was a festival. And then the third weekend of season 6, we got an invincible in packs in Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think this is very similar. Second weekend of season 6, because the first weekend of season 6 obviously was, or sorry, of season 7, I'm sorry, was the Skylines Park packs with Shaq and LaMelo. Second week, we get a festival. The festival has a GOAT card in it in Kareem. It would make sense that the third week we get a GOAT card in packs. So that unlocks a lot of different new cards that we could potentially get just because we're likely to get a GOAT card in packs. 2K has already shown they're willing to give higher tier cards to cards that already have 100 overalls. For example, Shaquille O'Neal, who has 100 overall and an invincible. So I think it is absolutely possible that any guys who are 100 overall and down of huge names could absolutely be getting new cards here in the near future. But first of all, I do think we should talk about budget cards. 2K has done a pretty solid job so far this season in season 6 with good budget cards. Sorry, in season 7, I should say, with good budget Dark Matters, especially adding Artist Gilmore and Rick Barry on Tuesdays. That was fire. We're going to get some 100 overalls, and 100 overalls are becoming a little more attainable as well. Like when you look at the prices of last week's, Josh Smith is under 500K. DeMarcus Cousins is under like 300K, and he's not good. I wouldn't buy him. And then Lonzo Ball also under 500,000 MT. Now, Glenn Rice is very expensive, but he's even not that ridiculous, like about $1 million MT at this point. The 100 overalls are becoming a bit more attainable, and so I think we'll probably see some budget Dark Matters, kind of like we have the last couple weeks, and we'll see even some potentially relatively attainable 100 overalls out of the Dark Matters. And lower, I guess, though, again, what I'm really looking for probably is guys who provide size on a budget. Similar to the way Denny Avdia did out of the out of position drop a couple weeks ago. Similar to, for example, a Mark Eaton or a Artist Gilmore at the Dark Matter big man spot, being these big versatile interior guys. I would love to see a big versatile budget power forward, you know what I mean? A big versatile budget small forward. We got Tyrese Thomas last week, which was a good step, but another guy like Tyrese Thomas would be really, really nice. A high level versatile small forward who's got some size. Like, for example, a Jonathan Bender is a card that I really hope that we see. He's a 7-footer. He got a pink diamond a while ago. That pink diamond came out at this point in, I believe, the radioactive set, which was in season 5. That was week 3 of season 5. So basically 2 seasons ago at this point, 3 months ago is when we got this Jonathan Bender card. Realistically, I think it's a great time for a Dark Matter Jonathan Bender. That's a card I would absolutely love to see this weekend, and hopefully cards like that at the Dark Matter tier that are going to be attainable, but also going to be elite level options with the size to compete against some of these top tier cards, because at the end of the day, that's one of those things that I think is super important, is having a lot of really high level attainable cards. Now, moving on to the 100 overall tier, I think the 100 overalls we could get has become a much larger variety of cards as of late, just because we've seen in the last couple weeks Josh Smith, DeMarcus Cousins, Lonzo Ball, Mitch Richmond, George Mike, and Glenn Rice. Not unbelievably ridiculously exciting spectacular names at this point, you know what I mean? So we could see a 100 overall Bam Adebayo, 100 overall Andrew Wiggins, 100 overall I'm literally naming random names. Michael Porter Jr. just got a Dark Matter not that long ago, but somebody like a Michael Porter Jr. could make sense. Some of these season 5 Dark Matters, like Joel Embiid 100 overall, would make a lot of sense to me. We just got a Gary Payton card. An Embiid 100 would make a lot of sense. Honestly, an Embiid Invincible would make a lot of sense. We're gonna get a couple Invincibles. We know that for sure. I think we'll get a GOAT card, but we're gonna get a couple Invincibles as well. Joel Embiid makes a lot of sense for an Invincible. I think we're gonna get an Invincible big this week. Last week, who was the Invincibles last week in packs? I'm literally forgetting now. Last week's Invincibles were Carmelo, Magic, and Kawhi. Okay, we're definitely getting an Invincible big this week. So somebody like a Joel Embiid makes a lot of sense as an Invincible. Somebody like a David Robinson makes a lot of sense as an Invincible. He hasn't gotten a card since his Dark Matter, one of the best bigs in NBA history. Another guy who hasn't gotten a card in a long time, who probably won't be getting a GOAT card just because we just got a GOAT big in Kareem. I don't think the GOAT card is going to be I don't think that it's going to be a big this week. Hakeem would make a lot of sense for an Invincible. I do think we'll see an Invincible big. One of those 3 guys makes a lot of sense to me. In Embiid, Embiid, Hakeem, or D-Rob. One of those 3 feels like a kind of a no-brainer. We already got in the 100 overall Chet Holmgren. He was a good Dark Matter big. I feel like that makes a lot of sense for an Invincible. The 100 overalls, again, could kind of be anybody, like I said. But the GOAT card is probably the most interesting card, and I guess we'll probably get one more 100 overalls, or one, probably realistically, we got 3 Invincibles in pack last week. We'll get at least 2 Invincibles. Even if we get a GOAT card, we're gonna get at least 2 Invincibles. I wouldn't be surprised if we got 3 again. So we're gonna see a guard or 2, a wing, or something along those lines as well for the Invincible tier this week. And I'm not totally sure what those cards are going to be, but hopefully they are good. I would love another, I don't think we're going to get another Blake Griffin, but I would love another Blake Griffin. That's a card that I'd love potentially. He was really good for his 100 overall. An Invincible version of him would be absolutely nasty. That's a card I would like to see. Tracy McGrady, I know he came out just over a season ago, but an Invincible T-Mac wouldn't be totally shocking, and he would be amazing. He's always a big name that 2K likes to drop. They might even make him point guard eligible at this point in the year, knowing what 2K's done in the past. And again, there's tons and tons of other names as well of guys who could potentially be getting cards. That being said, for the GOAT card, I think we're going to get one, and I think it is going to be a guard. That is because obviously GOAT Kareem was the last we got. Y'all remember who the first 100 overall we got in packs was? It was Kristaps Porzingis, which is a weird one. But the second 100 overall we got in packs was this man right here. Let me find him. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And Michael Jeffrey has not gotten a card in 3 months now. It is February 28th when he got a card. As I record this, it's Wednesday, May 28th, but y'all are gonna see this on the 29th. And then the 30th, we're gonna get the cards. Little over 3 months since the last MJ. He doesn't have an Invincible card. GOAT MJ makes a ton of sense here. Would be one of the very best cards in the game, of course, the point guard position, even only being 6'6" at this point in the year. He would only be behind maybe a couple of the Invincibles just because of size, like Jokic and maybe 1 or 2 more, but he would absolutely be on the level of a LaMelo Ball, one of the top 2, 3, 4 point guards in the game at very worst, likely top 3 would be my guess or so. And he makes sense to me. He's the guy I'm predicting this week for the GOAT card is Michael Jordan. Hey, a lot of people think he's the GOAT still. I personally think it's LeBron, but he would be a nasty card for sure, and a pack seller. 2K loves their pack sellers. With that being said, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and again, would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.